Hello and welcome to School of Dogs. Today I've got my wife Steph with me because today we're going to be looking at how to produce dog food at home. Ingredients you can buy from the supermarket, which is really easy to cook, really easy to prepare, and you can also feed it over a couple of days for your dog because we really consider about what we feed our animals. Jip here is a working border collie. He needs dog food which is high protein, which is good in nutrients for him to help him build and repair. We've also got our Ted who needs a different type of diet which is not as high protein. So I'd just like Steph to introduce to you what we're going to be doing today.
Hi, we're just going to look at a couple of very simple recipes with shop bought ingredients that everybody can get. One's a low fat version and the other is more a beef version. And they're both just a stew type recipe. That's basically 1 or 2 pots, so there's not a lot of cooking involved and everybody should be able to easily produce these at home. We're also going to look at producing a couple of little small treats based on ice cream based dog treat recipes.
Been out to our supermarket, bought some produce which we're going to now put together for a beef stew for our dogs.
This is just a simple recipe. This is just basically beef, brown rice, carrots, peas and sweet potato. These give the dogs the basic elements towards the diet that they need for everyday life, incorporating protein, fat, carbohydrate, vitamins and minerals. We'll use shop bought frozen ingredients so it's easy to prepare and quick to prepare at home. Sometimes people ask why we're going to cook a homemade recipe for dogs when there's lots of foods out there. Well, basically you know what's gone into it. There's no colourings, no additives, no preservatives, and it's a simple based stew that can be portioned up and put in the freezer. Right. Well, Lee, would you mind chopping those sweet potatoes? Just dice them, please.
Do you want us to leave the skins on or leave them on?
Yeah, you can leave the skins on. You can eat the skins on sweet potatoes and it's a good source of fibre, so just leave them on. Just chop them into like a dice-sized piece just so it's easier to cook. We've basically got 900 grams of mince beef. We've got 500 grams of brown rice. We've got 500 grams of carrots, frozen and already chopped. And we've got 170 grams of frozen peas. I've already popped the rice on into the slow cooker just to start cooking. While Lee's chopping the sweet potato, I'm going to start by frying the mince just in a little bit of coconut oil.
Coconut oil? Why would you use coconut oil?
The dogs just like the taste of coconut oil. It's easily digestible for them as well. Right. And it helps them just to transfer the nutrients around the body really. So we'll use, and there's already a good amount of oil in the meat as well, so that'll render out as we're cooking.
So could you not use vegetable oil or?
Yeah, you could use a little bit of vegetable oil, that's no problem at all.
Just in a small amount?
Yeah, just a small amount. You don't need a lot of oil, there's already oil in the meat as well.
Right, okay. Do you know I'm not a chef?
Take your time, take your time.
Quite nerve-wracking doing this with this extremely sharp knife.
That's great. The small dice is fine and it cooks quite quickly. Right.
So do all of it?
Yeah, do all of it. I've weighed it out. It's 500 grams. Right. Do all of it.
And is these dice all right for you?
Yeah, that's fine. Just try and keep it all roughly the same size.
You know why? I'm a dog trainer, not a chef.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just roughly the same size. That's great.
Good. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's lovely. I'll just grab some oil and we'll start frying off the mince.
So I've cut all this potato.
Yeah.
What we're going to do now?
We're going to start cooking. So I'll just go over to the stove. I'll pop the rice in the rice cooker. So that's the rice. Measured out. Put it in there with the equal amount of water. I like to use a rice cooker mainly because I can't cook rice. But secondly, because I can go in the shower when I come in from work and just leave it. It's already on cooking. It absorbs the water as it's cooked, and then there's no additional wastage to be tipped off, and it also kind of steams it and keeps it warm in the end, so I can just add it into the other ingredients as I'm cooking it. If you haven't got a rice cooker, that's fine. You can just use an ordinary pan, boiling water, and just boil the rice up. I'm going to pop this on, and we'll just put this on a reasonably high heat. Just let the pan warm up a little bit. And then I'm going to use the coconut oil.
Why are you using the coconut oil again?
Oh, it's just a simple oil. It's quite easy digestible. The dogs seem to like the taste of it. And it's got quite a high burn point, coconut oil, so it doesn't change the structure of the fat as it's cooking.
Do you think the coconut oil is good palatable for the dogs as well?
Yeah, it's very palatable.
What about the coat as well? Do you think it's good for the coat?
Yeah, it's linked to having a really good shiny coat. This is just the mince beef. We're just going to break that up a little bit. I mean, I don't want it to be really fine, because at the end of the day we want the dog to be able to chew it a little bit as well. I mean, a lot of times dogs just wolf down the food, but part of the digestion is actually the chewing of the food.
Okay.
And once they start chewing the food, it breaks, the enzymes in the saliva start to break down the ingredients so that they can digest them in the stomach.
Right.
But as you will know from being a dog behaviourist, dogs like routine. They like to be fed at the same time of day, really. And they start to produce gastric juices around that time of day because they know that they're going to be fed then.
So you need to keep your set structure when you're feeding the dog? Yeah,
I think it's important to keep that structure. I mean, our dogs are fed twice a day. The dog system, I mean, it's pretty slower than ours, isn't it?
It is, it's about 8 to 12 hours.
Yeah, to digest the food. So they don't have to be fed 4 times a day like we do, because they tend to digest their food a lot slower than we do. Good. Except when the puppies. When the puppies, you feed them 4 times a day. But we're just talking about adult basic.
Adult foods at the moment,
adult food for adult dogs. This is like a maintenance recipe. It's just for dogs that are of a healthy weight and having a normal life. But look, good amount of exercise each day, but not working life. Just a normal pet dog, really. Now you can see there's quite a bit of fat coming out into that. That's why I only used a small amount of fat, because it's got a lot of fat already in the mince.
And do you drain that fat or leave it in?
No, I'm going to leave the fat in because that's where they get the calories from.
Okay.
Dogs get calories not just from the protein content, but from the fat content.
Is this just one meal, or is it, how many meals will this prepare for your dog?
Well, it depends on the size of your dog and the breed of your dog. So this really is a recipe that will break down into 10 parts. So if you don't have to measure out equally, just break it down into 10 size containers. You can pop it in the fridge for a couple of days, or you can put it in the freezer and just bring it out as you need it. All
right, so if you go out to work, you can take out a frozen bag and then it'll be ready for the dog when you come in on an evening, just like your normal food.
Yeah, just let it defrost on the bench and it'll be already cooked, just out of direct sunlight. Just pop it in, and just like you would leave something out for yourself. And just serve it at room temperature. If you want it cold, dogs will eat cold food, but they tend to, they're like us, they've got taste buds and they like to prefer things that are just at room temperature. So once that's all cooked down, if you bring the potatoes over, please.
Yeah.
I've got you to dice them pretty fine so that they easily cook. Sweet potato cooks pretty quickly. And we'll just stir that in. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll just stir that in with the mince.
It's not as expensive.
Oh, it's nowhere near as expensive. And you know exactly what's gone into the food because you've prepared it and cooked it yourself, which gives you that control over the dog's food and diet of what's actually being incorporated and what the dog's eating. But also, if you're on a low budget, you can still give your dog a highly nutritious, good quality food at a very, very reasonable price. So I think that's about there. So peas are really, really fast cooking. They only take a couple of minutes to cook. The carrots are frozen and they're nice sliced quite thin, so we'll pop them in now. So we'll probably be cooking the sweet potato and mince probably about 10 minutes, and then we'll add in the frozen carrots, which will probably only take 2 or 3 minutes. We'll add the peas in. That's pretty much 2 or 3 minutes, looks okay. We'll add the peas in.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I could easily eat that from me too.
That looks fantastic. Do you want to add that into there?
Start adding it in, yeah. Just a little bit at a time, and then I can just incorporate it.
Wow.
I'll do for now, and I'll just give that a little mix, and then you can add the rest in a minute.
So how much rice was that again?
And there was 500 grams of rice at the beginning, and then I just added water into it. I didn't use stock cubes. or gravy granules or anything like that, just because I'm keeping it really natural for the dog. There's some stocks, unless you've made it yourself, some cubes contain quite a lot of salt content. Right, do you want to add the rest of that in?
Is there enough or more?
No, put it all in.
All in?
Yeah. This is making 10 portions, remember?
Oh yeah.
This is not one portion meal, this is 10 portions.
I don't know, but I could eat it. Wow.
You can smell the coconut oil, can't you?
You can.
Do you want to lift that over for us, like, please? Do you want to just pop that
on?
on the board? Yeah, that's cooked. You got it?
Yep.
I'll just knock that gas ring off. So there you go. So that's basically it. That's your beef, rice and vegetable stew for dogs.
So here we go. This is the beef stew recipe. We're going to see if our Jip likes it.
A little bit into the bowl for Jip. I'll put a little bit in, see if our Ted likes it.
No, thank you very much.
There you go.
Ooh, what's this, boys? Jip, Ted, come here, what's this? Wow, there you go, Jip.
Oh, the proof's
Oh, the proof is definitely in the pudding. The dogs are really enjoying this. If you want to give it a go, follow step-by-step guide. The ingredients and the recipes are down below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And please have a go at feeding your dogs with a home recipe.